Hey, when did you get in here? I didn't even notice when you came in. How long have you been here? Have you been here long? No? Good. Because you're just in time for another installment of Creepy Cheapies, where we take a little time out to appreciate the fine art of Halloween masks. You know, you would think a caveman would be kind of a costume standard, and really it is. People dress up as cavemen every Halloween. Everybody has some idea of what a caveman would probably look like, and well, if you dress up as a caveman for Halloween, either at the haunted house or just to go to a Halloween party or costume contest or something, it kind of affords an opportunity for silly behavior. You know, if you're a caveman, you can be really crazy and wild and zany, and you know, get involved with things like, oh, let's say mischief. Or even, if you prefer, another option would be shenanigans, possibly even leading to hijinks. Just depends on whether you're left-handed or right-handed. But anyway, there haven't been that many caveman masks over the years. Now, there was a classic one, very, very early Halloween mask by Topstone, designed by Keith Ward, a classic look for a caveman, but they never made a deluxe high-end version of it. It was just one of those cheap mass-produced masks for kids. And since then, well, Vern Langdon many years ago did a great caveman mask, but that never was really put into production, so hardly anybody ever got one. There have been some caveman masks based on silly television commercials from some years back that mostly just, for the most part, just irritated everybody, rather than being as funny as it was thought it would be. Don Post Studios had a Neanderthal man many years ago, but it was more of a comic, funny mask than a serious, scary kind of caveman. And yet, everybody kind of has an idea of what a caveman ought to look like because of all the caveman movies over the years. You know, like 1 million BC, and When Dinosaurs Ruled Earth, and Prehistoric World, and Quest for Fire, and The Flintstones Viva Rock Vegas. All those great caveman movies. So it's funny that there aren't more masks. You'd almost think that would be something really super common at Halloween, like vampires or werewolves or skull masks. But somebody did come to answer the call, answer the burning need for caveman masks with this one. This is from the weirdos at October Studio. October with a K. No, not October. OK, T-O-B-E-R, Studio. And how do we know? There's the tag right on there, which says October Studio, spelled with a K. Because that's how cavemen spell things. You know, give him a break. He's a caveman. But anyway, did I tell you the name of this mask? Okay, ready for this? You know what it's called? Caveman! Yeah! Caveman. What a great sculpture. Look how dramatic and scary and weird he is. And if you were going to wear this, everybody has an idea of what a caveman costume ought to look like. I believe most years you can get pre-made caveman type attire at the costume stores, the seasonal Halloween stores and such, most of which are made of something designed to look like fur, if not actual fur. A lot of times you'll see like something that looks like an animal pelt. And I don't mean like an animal pelted him with tomatoes and eggs because they didn't like his political speech. No, not like that. Animal skin, you know, fur. And if you're really creative and into the DIY aspect of costumes, you could make your own caveman costume out of either fur from a fabric store, if you can find one that's still open anywhere in the world, or you could use old coats, old fur coats from a secondhand store, which, you know, you went there when your clock needed a new secondhand. Go there for some fur coats, cut them up and make a sort of patchwork looking, uneven, kind of, you know, Frankenstein the pieces of fur together to look like something crude and rough hewn and handmade, because that's what cavemen like. That's what's usually in style in the world of cavemen. And I would think you could find something, oh, you know, either a loincloth or like the thing like a toga, sort of a big sack made of fur with armholes. You want to put armholes in there because you don't want to be stuck like that the whole time of the party. And or you could be over one shoulder, you know, the caveman toga look with the thing that goes over one shoulder with the fur with it. Yeah, that'd be cool. Do something like that. Or in a pinch, I guess you could use this guy as a Mr. Hyde. Yeah, if he was dressed in nice, you know, nice sort of formal wear, like you associate with Mr. Hyde, and a black coat and maybe a cape and a walking stick, give him a cane, put a big top hat on there. That's right, I've heard that too. He says every girl crazy about a sharp-dressed man, and he's right. But that's just if you don't want to have a caveman every year at Halloween. You want to put him to alternate use. But who would wear this? Ideally, if you're going to wear the Caveman mask from October Studios, a 2025 release, was supposed to be 24, but I don't think people could really get their hands on this mask much until into the start of 2025. Ideally, the wearer should be a big guy, you know, like a big bodybuilder or a muscle-bound kind of guy would look best, because you could let your arms show and you look threatening. You look like a big, scary caveman. Because that would be a better look than looking like, you know, Barney Rubble. Not that I have anything against Barney Rubble. No, no. He and I went to school together, I'm pretty sure. Barney, yeah. I'm so old, okay? I'm so old. Fred Flintstone is my son, okay? That's how old I am. But you remember Barney Rubble, right? Remember in the 80s when he became a pop star and went by the name Barney Idol? Remember that? Came out with that great album, Rubble Yell. Do you remember that in the 80s? No, you don't? Okay. Anyway, if you are a big person, this would be a good choice. A skinny little small person might not look so hot with the caveman mask. So preferably, if you're running a haunted attraction of some sort, you should have probably somebody in mind that's a big guy. One thing that's a little bit strange about this mask, I don't understand, they made him a little bit of a yellowy color. Can you see that? His skin isn't as pink, isn't as orange as a lot of masks. He's a little bit yellowy looking. Maybe he's an Asian caveman, I'm not sure. But that might look weird unless you have specialized lighting, because if I'm thinking a caveman costume would probably show some skin and you wouldn't be completely covered with the costume. So if your arms show, they're not going to match the head unless you're sort of yellowy complexion to begin with. Now, none of this would work for me because, as we know, me under the clothes, naked, I look like a giant unbaked breadstick. So that would not be a good choice for me. But the caveman here, not only a great mask choice, but such an awesome sculpted thing. He's kind of cool just to have in the old mask collection. Don't you think? And I've not done anything to this one to change. Did I tell you that already? I don't think I did. I haven't done anything to change this guy. So this is just how he comes. These went for around 50 or 60 bucks at the time I made this particular episode of Creepy Cheapies. If by the time you see this, they're up to $4,000 a piece, that's unfortunate because the price was 50 to 60 bucks. And 60 bucks would land you a mask with this much hair. And one thing I like is, I don't know if you can see this, they've got him doing a sneer, right? Like a crooked snarl. Actually, I'm doing it the wrong way. His is this, well, anyway. If you look at the way the mustache is put on, the mustache is stuck on there in such a way to match up with the position of the skin, giving him that snarl. If I was going to do anything to him to customize him, I don't know, you could give him eyebrows, but Caveman doesn't really need to have eyebrows. Yeah, I think Fred Flintstone had eyebrows, but his were just small because they were just line drawings. But anyway, you can pretty much just put him in the collection right there, and he's kind of an instant classic because he's an all-purpose caveman. Just a minute. There's a gnat in here or something. As far as what accessories you put with him, let's see, a pirate cutlass? No. A fencing épée? No. Japanese katana sword? No. Chainsaw? Baseball bat? Laser gun. Now, you know, oh, that stupid gnat. Just one moment, please. Let me get my fly swatter. Ah, got him. Anyway, I'm sure there's some kind of costume accessory that would be a good thing to carry on you while you're dressed as a caveman. But at the moment, the specifics of what that might be escapes me. So, you know, look around online, Google it. You'll find something that will work with a caveman, I think. And until next time, remember, goodbye.